Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki and today we are going to be making some DIY bug repellent spray and also balm. I have noticed that the bugs are so bad this year and I am done with it. Commercial bug sprays definitely work, but they are very, very strong smelling, filled with chemicals, and not something that I want to use on a day-to-day basis. Making your own bug repellent is so incredibly easy, so let's dive into that today. All you need is an amber bottle. I'm just making a small bottle today. That is what I've got. Again, use what you have. This amber bottle came in a big pack and it has served me so well. So basically you are going to need equal parts of filtered water or distilled, and you're gonna need witch hazel. So again, equal parts of both of those. Let's just see how much actually fits in my container. You get to customize this to whatever scents you like, but there are a few that work really well at repelling mosquitoes, ticks, flies, all of the bugs that you are just not into for the summer. Before we dive into what essential oils you should choose, you should know that not all essential oils are safe for use on kids or around pets. So be mindful of that while you're choosing your oils and make sure you're doing some research. One of them, for instance, is lavender. While it is very calming and wonderful for us, it is not always safe to put on children. Another one is tea tree oil, eucalyptus, of course the OG citronella, cedarwood, peppermint. There is a surprise ingredient that you probably wouldn't consider, and that is vanilla extract in its pure form. This is vanilla extract that I made in one of my other videos. If you want to learn how to make your own vanilla extract, you definitely should, because you can start it right now and it'll be ready in time for Christmas gifts come Christmas. So we are going to just do a tiny dash of vanilla. Honestly, it makes it smell so delicious too. And I am going to do about 10 drops of citronella. I'm going to be adding some eucalyptus. I'm gonna do 10 drops of that. It smells really good. Essential oils do have safe usage rates, which means the amounts that are safe in your product to be using on your skin. Every essential oil is different, and that is something you should be looking up. Anytime you find a recipe online, we try not to blindly trust strangers on the internet. So the optional ingredient as well is a little bit of vegetable glycerin. Now that will help your essential oils actually bind to your witch hazel, because otherwise they just kind of bubble around. For a full batch, it's 1 teaspoon, so we are going to do a ½ teaspoon here. Give it a good mix by just inverting it back and forth, and you are ready to use it. So spray it just like you would any other bug spray. The bonus is that it actually makes you smell very nice. So that's that. It's simple as can be. Now let's get into the bug balm. For the bug balm, we are going to be using a base of tallow, but if you're not into tallow or you're having a hard time sourcing it, I do have a plant-based bug balm that does not include any tallow in the actual recipe itself. Click onto that in the description box below. Now you might be wondering why you would actually make a bug balm when the bug spray is so much simpler. And one of the reasons that I like the bug balm is because it is also very hydrating. The base of it is very similar to a tallow body whip, but it just contains some different essential oils, and it contains a little bit of beeswax. I find, especially in the summertime when you're spending so much more time outside, it's easy to forget to hydrate and then you notice dry skin, and this is just one of the ways that you can really lock in some moisture while keeping the bugs away. Get started, we're going to need 2 tablespoons of tallow. Now, if you do not know how to render your own tallow, definitely check out the link that I put up here or in the description box below. I walk you through step by step exactly how to do it. Okay, then we're gonna grate up some beeswax. Tablespoon of grated or beeswax pellets. And finally, we're going to use 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Now you can choose whatever carrier oil you'd like. You could do castor, jojoba, sunflower, coconut, whatever you'd like. I choose olive oil because it is middle of the road on the comedogenic scale. Okay, let's bring this over to our double boiler. Now, I don't have an official double boiler, so a pan of water and then your jar in there will work perfectly. And whenever you think about it, give it a little mix. We're gonna keep a close eye on this because it shouldn't take too long to melt down. Okay, so we're close to being there. Once most of the beeswax is dissolved, it's time to take it off of the heat. I wouldn't say most of it is dissolved quite yet, so we're gonna leave it a couple more minutes. All right, so we are there. I'm gonna turn off the heat, and then we're going to carefully take this off the heat. You wanna be very careful and wear oven mitts because this is so hot. Now this gets a couple minutes to cool down. You want it still to be warm and keep all of the oils melted, but you want to be able to touch it for more than a second. Now that it's cooled down, we're gonna start adding our essential oils. So we're gonna do 10 drops of citronella. We're gonna do 8 of eucalyptus. We're gonna do 6 lavender and 5 of tea tree. Tea tree is optional. Because extract is a liquid, we're not going to add that in here, although vanilla does sound nice. Give it a good stir. We're going to pour it into the container. You can do little mini mason jars. I really like these containers that I got, and I use them for spices, for all of my cosmetics. They're one of the best purchases I've made. So I'll definitely link some in the description box below. And now we just set this aside until it is completely hard. So anytime you're working with oils, you do not want them to go down your drain. Something that's not talked about very often is how to clean up. You are going to use paper towels, disposable paper towels, and as much as I like reusing products, if you use a dishcloth, you're gonna have the same problem clogging up your washing machine instead. So give it a quick wipe. Wipe out your whole container really, really well. You can see all of this oil that was left. That would all be clogging up your drain. And I have dumped tallow down the drain once by accident. It was a huge nightmare. We had to get our septic tank pumped, and luckily the damage wasn't too bad, but I do not want that for you. Now that it has been completely wiped out, we're going to add liquid soap into there. This is the liquid soap that I made. I make it in bulk, and if you are curious how I did that, check the link up top. And now this gets filled completely with hot water, and it should be frothy from your soap. This is gonna sit for 5 minutes, then you're gonna take it outside and dump it on gravel or something that you don't really care about outside in your yard. And then you can put this in the dishwasher. Yes, there are a lot of extra steps, but you can never be too careful. We don't want to be wrecking your machines. There you go, super easy methods to make both a DIY bug spray and a DIY bug balm. I hope you loved it, and I hope it works super well. One thing to note before I let you go is that these bug sprays are all natural, and that means you are going to need to reapply them every hour or 2. They're not going to be as strong as a commercial DEET product. So if you're going deep into the backwoods, this may not cut it, but for your everyday use, this stuff is perfect. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. I appreciate you more than you know. Take care.